Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, all of us know boxing is corrupt. If you found me, you know that by now. That means you know a little something about boxing. Boxing has been corrupt, it always corrupt. But the bottom line is a lot of people let it happen. Most people know it's going on and they just let it happen. It's behavior. So at some point when people, are held accountable for their corruption, they look at you funny like, well, what are you doing? I've been getting away with this for years. You see it in the government in New Russia, right? You see it, right? These people act so wrong every day that they wonder, well, what do I have to do? Well, I don't have to answer for this. So boxing is like that. It runs rampant. Now, we all complain about boxing sanctioning bodies. We got about, I used to say it was about 10 of them. 9 or 10 sanctioning bodies. Well, actually, it's 4 that we care about, the WBC, WBA, WBO, and the IBF. But if you start putting all that stuff in it, everybody got an interim. And, somebody got a gold. Somebody got a global, right? They came up with a franchise. They just come up with just stuff so they can get these sanctioning fees. Now, the WBC, if somebody had to pick which from the top 4 sanctioning bodies, I forgot the IBO and the IBA, by the way, but the sanctioning bodies are the most corrupt. Which one is the most corrupt? And I'm pretty sure most people will go with the WBC. Mauricio Suleiman is the president, and he acts a fool right in daylight. And I always complain, is like, yeah, and then he shows up after doing something absolutely ridiculous. And he'll show up at the next fight, and everybody's trying to get selfies and shake his hand. Then he will never behave. But finally, we might have some light at the end of the tunnel. The WBC is finally under fire for some ridiculous behavior. And it's about Shakur Stevenson, who just beat the hell out of Teofimo Lopez and made him look pedestrian in daylight, right? So that happened. And he's fighting for a different sanction body for the fight, moving up in weight. And Shakur Stevenson is WBC 135-pound champion. That championship wasn't on the line, had nothing to do. I think he fought for the WBO title, if I'm not mistaken, from Teofimo Lopez. But anyway, these people asked for $100,000 from him. Some kind of, I don't know if they even calling it sanctioning fees. Just give us some money for nothing, right? So Shakur Stevenson is not doing that. Now, we know that Terrence Crawford had an issue. They wanted about $350,000 from him for beating up Canelo, right? And he didn't pay it because he's like, that's way too much. All the other sanctioning bodies agreed on a different number, and you just want a whole lot. WBC again. So they stripped Terrence Crawford, but he retired, and now Shakur Stevenson stripped. But here's the difference with this one. People are outraged by this. And the good thing about it is people that are not black are outraged about this, which means somebody might listen this time. Here's the deal. The WBC has done ridiculous things, right? Canelo is doped, caught with Cambuterol. They want to raise the levels and only suspend him, I think it was 6 months, which is how often he fights anyway. It's not really a suspension. Slapped him on the wrist. The WBC has let Canelo avoid David Benavidez for years. Over 2.5 years, even though he was the mandatory challenger, right? Just let him do it. WBO, when Canelo didn't want to fight his mandatory, this other one at the 160-pound division, Jamal Charlo, hey, they just come up with a franchise belt. But they said it wasn't a belt, it's just some kind of title. And Jamal Charlo can't fight for that title. It's non-transferable, is what he said. But then he gave the same belt to Lomachenko, and it was transferable when Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez. So that was just egregious, just to help Canelo. What else has WBC done? Here's something. Long-reigning champion, WBC champion Deontay Wilder was cheated in broad daylight by Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury does his gloves, and while he's doing his gloves, Mauricio Suleiman said he was in the locker room. They cover up the camera, and it comes to find out he wasn't there. These are just a few things that the WBC champion, the WBC does. There's a whole lot more. You guys in the comment section, if you come through, tell me something that I'm missing. But the bottom line is this time people are outraged, and it's a good thing because at the end of the day, these sanctioning bodies, they're on thin ice as it is. All right, right. Your boy Turkey Al-Ashi and his boys are trying to make one champion per division, which is probably a good thing. It might just mess up the record books, you know, because undisputed might be a little bit different. But we just have to get on with it. At the bottom line, I do like watching people become undisputed and grab all the belts. But one champion will probably be better in the long run, so we can get the corruption out the sport. But at the end of the day, Mauricio Sulaiman is not supposed to be taking no money from somebody who's not even fighting for your belt, right? You didn't even sanction the fight. And then with more details, you know, it's a little bit of residue for him being upset at Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson, they roll, they're cool with each other, right? Shakur Stevenson calls Terrence Crawford his big brother. And come to find out, Mauricio Sulaiman was not saying that he didn't like that their relationship or Shakur Stevenson's cool with Terrence Crawford, right? Right now, while you trying to take money from him, you're going to even mention that, which shows a little bit of pettiness. So yeah, for the boxing world, today is a good day. Let's see if we can get some justice. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.